Pikachu? What is this? Well, I'm holding it. I bought it. I should be telling you that. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. The Electric Tale of Pikachu was a 4-part Japanese comic series, also known as a manga, that was written and illustrated by a famous hentai artist. Yes, you heard that right. A hentai artist, a Japanese poon illustrator. He not only drew this official bit of Pokemon manga, but he actually wrote it too, and there are plenty of scenes where you can tell. But we'll get more into that in a bit. First, you should know the basics, like how this is all about Ash and Pikachu, and was released just a few months after the anime started airing in Japan. But thankfully, it's not just a retelling of the same exact story, as there are differences, which you'll see. I mean, Ash catches a Fearow. A Fearow! Who in their right mind catches a Fearow? Ew. Anywho, why don't you sit back, readjust your Pokeballs, and prepare for a swath of Gen 1 storybook knowledge as I take you through this tale you never knew. Ooh. Or that you actually do know, because it's basically just the comic book manga version of the anime, so it's not that special. Also, quick shout out to my friends over at Treesicle. They just posted a pretty sweet video themselves. It's Pokemon Let's Go, the story you never knew. Now then, I lied right before the intro, where I said the story was mostly the same because right off the bat, the story starts off completely different. Rather than Ash waking up late to get a starter Pokemon from Professor Oak, there's just a Pikachu in Ash's attic chewing on cables, causing a home blackout, and Ash's mom's all like, "Go get it!" It's so much better of an origin story. Also, look at Ash here. Maybe it's the eyes. Maybe it's the clothes. The 90s were a totally different time. But Ash looks like a cute tomboy here. And I'm not sure how comfortable I am with that, especially given the reputation of the artist. So he catches Pikachu with rubber gloves and rope. And just outside is Gary! What's with the Pokeball? Well, Gary just got his trainer's license, which allows him to get a Pokedex and some Pokeballs. So now, Ash wants to do the same just to show up Gary. Like, he didn't really want to be a Pokemon trainer before, he just doesn't want Gary to be better than him. And that's the best reason to become a Pokemon trainer. And who's this? Oh, it's Gary's sister, May. Also, that's not how those work. Those are incredibly fake. Exactly what I would expect of a 90s hentai artist. It's like she's stuffing Pokeballs in there. Speaking of which, Pokeballs in this world have little screens on the buttons, I guess, as they sometimes have the in-universe Pokemon logo on them. They sometimes will have numbers, and sometimes the word hyper. I don't know what's going on. Also, being as Gen 1 as this is, it at one point mentions that it takes terrestrial creatures millions of years to evolve into a new form, but Pokemon can transform radically in a very short period of time. In other words, just like the Gen 1 anime and several Gen 1 Pokedex entries, real animals do exist among the Pokemon. They just aren't magic. So, Ash being Ash, he fails to catch a Pidgey. And then, Pikachu runs away. And now is just a really good time to say, I love how Pikachu looks in this manga. It is so cute, super cute. Like I'm gonna show you so many images of this Pikachu because it's like the cutest iteration of Pikachu. It's not the blorpy, fat, old Pikachu that most people know, but it's also not the skinny, new Pikachu that most people nowadays know. It's its whole own Pikachu. It's like a perfect in-between, and it's got a face and paws. Oh. There is one exception, though. When Pikachu does this. The demon eyes. The demon eyes. Demon eyes. Also, Ash does this. Pikachu then goes Zippy Zap, which attracts some attractive police. Or lice. And check out their police car. Notably, this Pokemon world is pretty futuristic. I mean, Gary owns a hover bike. This is some more stuff I really want to explore in more detail in the future. Just the technology of various Pokemon universes. So, Ash leaves town because the police said his untamed Pikachu is dangerous in the city, and while camping, he has a dream where his eyes begin to overtake his entire face, slowly eating away at his brain cells to fuel his more powerful eyes. He can see new colors and focus miles away. Seriously though? Suddenly the eyes are just massive, even by anime standards, and it's just this one panel. So then we meet Misty, who sees Pikachu and can't help but hug him. And I gotta say, I actually prefer this Misty's outfit compared to anime Misty, though not so much the face or the hair. Where is the meat in her cheeks? Aha! I found all that cheek meat in the next page. They put it in Charmander's nose. And then, for no reason at all, the famous scene happens next. You know the one where a whole flock of Spearow begin to attack. And check out how realistically these Spearow are drawn. It's super cool. I love the demon eyes. As expected now, they are getting chased and beaten up by all these Spearow. And then a Fearow joins in. The jerk. Also, is that blood? Dark. That's what we need more of in Pokemon. Blood and violence. No, really. And then, having been chased enough, the power of Satan compels Pikachu to do the thing. You know the thing. Zap. Catch a Fearow, we can move on. No actually, because that was the end of Book 1. Book 2, then, begins with demon eyes! As Ash and Pikachu are now being chased by a swarm of Beedrill. And they wind up at a Pokemon Center, and what is up with Nurse Joy's outfit? Hello, Nurse. That's not like any nurse outfit I've ever seen. Unfortunately. So then, Pikachu is chowing down. Ha, puns. Pikachu. Pikachu. Ah! Ash buys a Chinese knockoff map and uses it to search for a Clefairy. But he winds up right in an Onix nest. And that is the most metal-looking Onix I have ever seen. And no, I don't mean Steelix. I mean, this Onix looks intense. It's got extra rock fin spike things. And the eyes of darkness. This Onix actually looks as intimidating as a giant rock snake should look. So they run, obviously. That seems to be what Ash is best at in this universe. And he then realizes he has to use his Butterfree using Psychic to use it. Wait. How long has he had a Butterfree? Hang on. What? What's the... Alright. Yeah. Well, there's time jumps between each issue, it seems. And during the time jump between 1 and 2, he must have caught a Butterfree. Great. I guess that explains why he, in the moment, should use that Butterfree Pokemon I caught. Because he has to explain that he caught it, you know? In the end, though, the cave comes crashing down and Ash dies. But thankfully, or unfortunately, depending on your perspective, he is brought back to life by Clefairy and Professor Oak in a Clefairy costume. Is Professor Oak a furry? Also, he looks way young here compared to anime Professor Oak that you're used to. And he even says Correctamundo. That was so cool and hip to say back in the 90s. He was pretty rad. Professor Oak then tells his story about when he began his Pokemon adventure. I caught a Charmander on that trip, and I named it Char. He wasn't always smart, after all. I mean, we all start somewhere. We then meet Bill, the technology researcher, and they go hiking to view an incredible Clefairy event. Also, Bill states he couldn't even spell Pokemon when he first started his journey. He wasn't always smart, after all. I mean, we all start somewhere. So as it turns out, that Clefairy event is, as expected, them evolving into an oddly long Clefable. Ew. There's some lesson about the beauty of nature and whatever, and Ash leaves. At the end of this issue, though, there's a little Pokemon fan art gallery where kids made up their own Pokemon to be featured in the next issue, which is this one. Just check out these two edgy ones. The Evolver. I'm pretty sure we all drew something like this as a kid. Just took parts from other Pokemon and stacked them together. You know? Here's Punisher. It's just a knight with wings and bird feet. And then this one is literally just Terriermon from Digimon. Like, look at these two. The third book has a cute cover. It's got Brock and Misty on it, and they're all being cute and stuff. Anyway, the third book is finally explaining that there are time jumps. Apparently, he caught a Pidgeotto between 2 and 3. Also, his Butterfree from book 2 is a Caterpie again. Is this book a flashback? Did the Americas get these books in the wrong order? No? Because he didn't have a Pidgeotto when fighting Onix. Are these books just doing whatever they want? Maybe that's why they scrapped this series for Pokemon Adventures instead eventually. Also, wait a sec, I just realized in this panel there are these nuclear power plants, and this world has holographic pocket computers and Pokeballs and hover bikes, and then there's just a wagon being pulled by Rapidash. Alright. So Misty is tagging along now to get her money back for the broken bike, and Ash beats Brock in a single page. Yeah, there's more build up to this fight than there actually is fighting. Just a single page of fighting. I lost! Also, that's my voice for Brock. And on the next page, I love this. Everyone is eating and Pidgeotto is staring, drooling at Caterpie, which has the little nervous anime drop. You like your Pokechow, Pikachu? Why yes, Ash. This is just an onigiri, but Americans will not understand. So we shall call it Pokechow. Also, hang on, I recognize this panel. So this manga got censored a bit in the West. I mean, the illustrator does hentai, and we've already seen some pretty risque stuff, especially for a kid's manga. But this panel in my edition isn't censored. See? I'll show you. That's what I got. This is the Western version, and this is the Japanese version. So do I have the Japanese art here? I know I don't, because later on in this same book, there is the Western censorship. Did they preemptively do some censorship for the West? Printed these off. But then after some complaints from parents, did they do more censorship for future reprints? Which is those images? That's my theory anyway. Oh my god, look at Pikachu here. Caterpie just evolved into Metapod, and now Pikachu is trying to evolve too. It's super cute. Adorable. Now, onwards to the Cerulean gym and aquarium. Note, the regular fish, the whales, the jellyfish, mixed with Pokemon. Interesting. Misty then changes into her risque swimsuit, or in my edition, the black wetsuit, and tells Ash to stop staring. Also, it's just, oh, it's so cute. Look at Pikachu's face on this page. It's so perfect. Oh, look at the next page, though. Look at this wicked Gyarados. Holy, this is the art we need in more Pokemon media. Hot dang. More of this, please. Also, Gyarados scared out Pikachu's demons again. And now it's time to bring up something interesting. There's different canons to what Pokemon can and cannot do in the Pokeballs. Sometimes they are just suspended in cyberspace or whatever. Sometimes they are shrunk inside of the ball and are completely aware of what's going on outside the ball. But this manga adds another one, and I have no idea how to explain it, so let me just show it to you. Ash throws out Fearow, and it's just asleep, but Fearow has a sign on it that reads, "Beauty sleep. Please do not disturb Fearow." So 1, how did it get that sign into the ball? 2, how does Fearow know how to write? And 3, how did it even write on a sign while in the ball? Then Ash tries to throw out Pidgeotto, but instead of a Pidgeotto, Ash just gets a note so it's the writing thing again, but the darn bird somehow isn't even in the Pokeball at all. It's open right there. It should have come out, but how was the note in there then? What is this? I get that it's there for the sake of humor, but like, the lore and the science just isn't there. They also forgot to censor this panel in my version. There's nothing really to cover up, but this skin showing right here implies the original outfit, not the wetsuit. Just saying. So, Pikachu's too scared of Gyarados, and the other two Pokemon don't want to fight because they somehow broke Pokeball laws. But thankfully, just in the nick of time, Ash's Metapod evolves. But unfortunately, Ash makes this face, kind of ruining the moment. Nobody liked that. Also, so real quick, let's just take a moment to appreciate Pikachu's cute little hands. The little paws. As you can see, they are cute. They're quite normal for a Pikachu, and they're cute little, like, raccoon mouse hands. You know, it's what you'd expect. But this next panel adds a whole new aspect to Pikachu hands, and personally, I find it significantly more creepy than Pikachu's demon eyes. Boom! Pikachu hands! It's just people hands all of a sudden. It's like that gif of the plodding raccoon or that cartoon deer. It's just gross and uncanny. Why does Pikachu suddenly have people hands? Also, the very next page, Misty taunts Pikachu with his favorite snack, onigiri. At which point, Pikachu's demons rise up and take over again. Hungrier than ever, this demon craves balls of rice. It must devour them whole, extending Pikachu's jaw far beyond the normal amount. Also noted, that should be against Pokemon rules. Misty's distracting Pikachu with food. That's kind of a butt move. But Ash, being quick thinking, throws a dumpling onto Misty's head, at which point she exclaims, "Ow! What the? Soy sauce and dumplings? Fero food?" So, is dumplings with soy sauce inherently Fero food, then? What in the world do Pokemon eat in the wild? Is there just a line of Spearow working together to make rice balls with soy sauce in the forest? What? Ultimately, Ash wins the battle, Pikachu tries to be cute with Gyarados, and it is revealed that Ash may have a crush on Gary's older sister, May. And she isn't the only crush, as we learn in the next and last book in the Electric Tale of Pikachu. He may have a crush on Sabrina. Ash, methinks you have a weakness for cute girls. Sure do. Dude! Also, this is Sabrina. Oh my, has she changed. In the anime, she's an emotionless devil psychic. In the Adventures manga, she's a member of Team Rocket. In the games, she's still rather cold and stiff, always thinking and plotting. In the Electric Tale of Pikachu, she's kind, caring, loving, sweet, and she beats the devil out of Pikachu with her Abra. But things take a serious turn when a Haunter and gang of Ghastlies start roaming town. She finds herself unconscious in the hospital because Haunter ate her soul. So a lot of the stuff in the Pokedex entries are rarely actually seen as true. Because they're really dark. There's a lot of really creepy dark Pokedex entries, but you never actually see them happening in the anime or the games that much. At least not meticulously, but all of a sudden, this is really dark. Haunter just ate her soul. She's gonna be unconscious for the rest of her life now. Because her body has no soul. So, Ash, along with the Pokemon equivalent of the Ghostbusters, hunt down this Haunter. And let's just say, much like the Onix and Gyarados, this Haunter looks way sick, cool, and edgy. Yeah, it's actually kind of creepy. But Abra, Pikachu, and the Ghostbusters save the day, and Ash heroically catches himself a Haunter. Oh, no. The Haunter used self-destruct. And Sabrina woke up right away. Meaning Haunter actually died. Jeez. Also, hot dang, Haunters are huge. Also, it turns out the reason this Haunter was evil was just because it just hated not being treated as a god, as it once was apparently. Some interesting lore. Apparently, in ancient times, the people who lived here worshipped Pokemon as gods. In this case, Haunter. I'd love to explore that more. Brock's dream comes true, though, and Sabrina embraces him. And Pikachu is cute. Still. And on the back of the book, we have an ad for Neon Genesis. Nice. And that's the end of this series. But the story itself isn't over, as the story continues in the next series of comics, which we'll cover later. So in summary, the Electric Tale of Pikachu is a hodgepodge of moments from the anime retold in a somewhat different way, and it's kind of all over the place. And occasionally there are just some additional Pokemon in Ash's party, and sometimes they just retcon the Pokemon that he has. It's confusing. The world is different from the Pokemon world we are used to, and the art is fantastic and definitely something that needs to be explored again in a more recent version. Please. Come on, Pokemon Company. More art like this. Also, loads of the outfits, especially in the Japanese version, are extremely skimpy. But that's to be expected. I mean, the guy's a professional at what he does, which is hentai. And sometimes you can tell.
And that's the story. You never knew.
And hey, that was Grant from Treesicle. We're great friends, Treesicle is awesome, and they just covered the story you never knew about Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. So you should check it out here and in the description. If you liked this video, you let me know down below, and if it does well enough, we'll continue with the rest of this particular manga series. And until next time, never stop using your noggin, and don't let your demons pop your eyes out. Can I have my spot back?
No.
Oh.
This is my channel now.
Huh.
I'm taking over. I'm the new Lockstin.
Okay.
You ready for that?
Yeah, I'll leave.
Yeah, go get a 9 to 5.